Morning students, hope you all are fine at home. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is the sermon at Benares. It is really a wonderful chapter. This is the chapter which totally related to Gautama Buddha. I hope everyone knows about Gautama Buddha. His real name is Siddhartha. And how he left his palace, went to the forest to find the real code, to find the real path for salvation. He done meditation for around 7 years, and after that he got enlightenment. Means he called as the name of Buddha. So let's discuss this wonderful chapter which shows a really meaningful story to us. So let's begin.
Sermon at Benares. A sermon is a religious talk given by a religious person to his disciples to get free from their sinful life and follow the right path. Gautama Buddha was born in 563 BC and died in 483 BC. Thus he lived 80 years. He began his life as a prince, named Siddhartha Gautama, in northern India. He was sent for schooling at the age of 12 to study Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later, he returned to marry a princess and had a son. This life longed about 10 years. The prince was shielded from the sufferings of the world. But he came to know about others' sufferings when out hunting. He came across a sick man. Then came across an old man. Then came across a funeral procession. A funeral procession is a procession which is done when someone dies. Finally, he saw a monk begging for alms. These sights, a sick man, an old man, a funeral procession, and monk begging for alms, so moved him that he went out to seek enlightenment, to know how these sufferings can end. Enlightenment means a state when someone has high spiritual knowledge and wisdom. He wandered 7 years, and finally sat down under a peepal tree, where he meditated until enlightenment came. After exactly 7 days, he got enlightened. So, he renamed the tree as Bodhi tree. If you know Hindi, then you know, Bodhi tree will mean the tree of wisdom. And he himself became to be known as Mahatma Buddha. Buddha, 563 BC minus 483 BC, began life as a prince in northern India. At 12, he went for schooling to study Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later, married a princess and had a son.
After 10 years, he worried about the sufferings of the world, when chanced upon a sick man, an old man, a funeral procession, and a monk. This sights made him wander for 7 years to seek enlightenment. After 7 days meditating under peepal tree, he got enlightened. He renamed the tree, the Bodhi tree.
He gave his first sermon, or say, religious talk, in Benares. That sermon is preserved. It tells his wisdom about death, and an understandable kind of suffering. Want to see that sermon? Let's see it. Gautami had only one son, and the son died. So she carried her dead son to all her neighbors, asking for medicines. But the child was dead. I can't give you medicines for your child, but I know a physician who can cure him.
Pray tell me, sir. Who is it?
Go to Muni, the Buddha.
Lord and Master. Give me the medicine that will cure my boy.
I want a handful of mustard seed.
I promise to bring it.
But the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent, or friend.
Poor Gautami went door to door.
Here's your mustard seed, take it.
Did a son or daughter, a father or mother, die in your family?
Alas, the living are few, but that are many. Don't remind us of our deepest grief.
Gautami became weary and hopeless. She watched the lights as they flickered up and extinguished. At last, the darkness reigned everywhere. How selfish I am. In my grief, death is common to all. Yet, In this valley of desolation, there is a path that leads to immortality. Who had surrendered all selfishness? Kizigatami thought. She was selfish in her grief, extreme sadness. Death is common to all. Yet in this valley of desolation, area full of sorrows, there is a path that leads to immortality, where death doesn't matter. Who has surrendered all selfishness?
Now, listen to Buddha. But first, you have to know meaning of some words. These are
Mortals, those who will certainly die, that is, every living is mortal. Lamenting, expressing.
the life of mortals in this world is troubled and combined with pain. Because there's no way by which mortals can avoid dying. After reaching old age, it's death, it's nature of living beings. As ripe fruits are always in danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death. As all vessels made by potter end up being broken, so mortals do. Both young and adult, fools and wise, all fall in the power of death. A father can't save his son's life. Not from crying will anyone obtain peace of mind. Yet, his pain will be the greater and body will suffer. He will make himself sick and pale. The dead are not saved by his lamentation. He who wants peace must leave lamentation, complaint and grief.